Hey everybody, welcome back to Anthony's Horror and More. Today I'm going to show you guys my entire Scream Factory collection. Alright, I've been thinking about it the last couple days. I'm like, man, what video should I make next? It's like, I'm always like wondering, like, what's the next video going to be? Because I like to show off a variety of stuff. I like to show, NECA figures and Spirit Halloween figures and Steelbooks and all sorts of different shit, and I'm like, what should I have in this video? And I was like, I'm gonna do a Scream Factory collection video, that way I can talk about some titles, and plus it's a good way to way to catalog everything. It's like if I make a video on everything that I have now, um, this is January 30th, 2023 that I'm recording this. That way I've got it all nice and cataloged for later. And, in another year, 2 years, I can come back, do another collection update, and, this will help me remember all the Scream Factory titles and stuff I already have, so I don't know, making these videos is kind of cool because it's fun to do, but you also get to just catalog everything and be like, okay, so January 30th 2023 I had all that stuff, and then I can go back and watch the video and be like, okay, so this is all the new stuff I've picked up and a couple of years after or whatever. So I think that's kind of cool. It's a good way to keep track of your collection. Like I did a Lionsgate Steelbook collection video, and maybe in another year or two, I'll do another one and, show you an updated one stuff. So it's kind of fun. It's a good way to keep track of everything. Oh, by the way, guys, I just did a stream over on Brian Goes Blue channel. We did it was me, Pop's Movie Dungeon, Brad from the 4K Tent Revival, Subjective Perspective Collective was there, and me and Brian hosted, and we just shot the shit for like 3.5 hours, talked about movies and physical media, and just a fun kind of raunchy rated R stream, the kind of streams that I like to do. So it was really funny. So yeah, go check that out over at Brian Goes Blue, his channel. I'll leave a link down below. And coming up, every week I do a stream on the 4K Tent Revivals channel. That's my buddy Brad's channel. And we talk about weird movies that are ambiguous, that need explained, and we dissect them and go deep into them. We've done a bunch already. We just did Lost Highway, but we've also done Jordan Peele's Us, and we've done Bad Boy Bubby, which is kind of a weird, obscure movie. That was an interesting one to talk about. And we've done Crimes of the Future, by David Cronenberg. We did Titane, which is like a French horror sci-fi film. We've done a bunch. We did a Batman versus Superman, because a lot of people find that, they have a lot of questions about that movie too, especially because you have the theatrical cut and the extended unrated cut, the ultimate cut, that's what it's called. And this week, or in the next couple weeks, not quite sure the date yet, but I'll post it on my community page. We're going to talk about Donnie Darko. So we're gonna dissect and break down Donnie Darko. So please be on the lookout for that. Go subscribe to the 4K Tent Revivals channel, and like I said, I'll post some point down the week what day we're gonna do it and what time. So just getting a few of those announcements out of the way, just so you guys know what's going on. And please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help. And yeah, let's get into it without further ado. So first up, and these are in no order, I'll just go ahead and do the Blu-rays first and then kind of just work through it and go to the 4Ks, I guess. First up, we got Candyman. Love this movie. Tony Todd, can't go wrong. Just I just think Tony Todd, he's great in everything he does. He's just one of those actors that I'm like, if I see him in a movie, it makes it that much better. He even had a small role in the movie The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery, and he was great in that too. He's just like, he's always good. But yeah, I love Candyman. Very atmospheric, great score. And a nice like slow burn horror movie, and I like that there's like a little bit of a mystery there, and you follow Virginia Madsen's character, and you're just trying to uncover the mystery and who the Candyman is and all that stuff. I love this movie. So yeah, I got Candyman, and that's the Blu-ray edition. I know there's a 4K, but I just don't want to keep double dipping on everything. So if I already got the Blu-ray, I'm probably not going to double dip too much. Anyway, Halloween 2. Yep, Halloween 2, one of my favorite Halloween films. It turns it up. It takes a page out of Friday the 13th's book, and just becomes a full-blown slasher movie. Great kills. I love the hospital setting. I don't give a shit that Laurie Strode's barely in it. That really doesn't, I don't care. For me, it's all about Dr. Loomis. Donald Pleasance playing Dr. Loomis. He's the guy that I like to follow through these movies. Like, he's my favorite character that's not Michael Myers. So I'm fine with her just, being in the hospital bed for the most part or whatever. But yeah, this is a really fun movie. Yep, Halloween 2. Next up, we got Black Christmas, which also just got a 4K recently. Yeah, really fun, great Christmas horror film. One of those films where it's a POV, so you see it all through like the killer's perspective for the most part when he's going around the house and doing all that kind of stuff. Really creepy, kind of like Friday the 13th. Yeah, you get some cool kills in here. A really creepy antagonist. Creepy serial killer making phone calls and saying all kinds of weird shit. And yeah, I really like the Olivia Hussey. Yeah, she's a babe, man. She's so fucking hot. This chick right here. Yeah, so really fun. Oh, and you got Margot Kidder in there too, and she's a blast. She's like drunk and being funny the whole movie. So always good, always entertaining. Demon Knights, love me some Demon Knight. This was based off of the Tales from the Crypts. This was a movie that they made a couple. They did this and Bordello of Blood, but I really am a big fan of Demon Knight. You got William Sadler in there, and Billy Zane. Oh my god, Billy Zane is the one. He makes this movie. He's one of those villains. He's so over the top. There's great gore in this. I love all the demons and stuff. You got to shoot their eyes out, and they get sucked back down to hell. Just a really fun movie. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Just really fun. Jada Pinkett Smith. That's it. Yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith. She's really great too. She's she's kind of like your final girl in this, and I thought she did a really good job too. Because I think that was before she was even really a big name either. I believe anyway. But yeah, she was cool. She was really cool in this one. Let's see. We got Dog Soldiers. Also just got a 4K. Not too long ago. It's a running theme with all these movies here. Dog Soldiers, really fun werewolf movie. It's got the guy, I forgot his name. It's got the guy from, if you guys have ever seen the show Gotham, he plays Alfred the butler. He's the lead soldier in this, who's like, killing the, werewolves, or, fighting against the werewolves and stuff. Really cool movie. Some really jarring like editing and stuff in this film. It kind of like almost makes you a little like gives you like motion sickness sometimes. I mean, it's just like kind of like cut, like really crazy editing. I think they're doing that on purpose to make you feel unsettled. but it can be a little bit much at the beginning, but then they kind of stop doing it towards like the middle and end. So, but yeah, really fun movie. I'm trying to see what that guy's name is. I think he's Sean Pertwee. I think that's that guy's name that played Alfred in Gotham that's in this or whatever. I think that's his name. He was also in Event Horizon. Love that movie too. Yeah, really cool. All right. Got Idle Hands. And Idle Hands. This is a blast. I actually just got this like maybe a couple months ago or so, and it had been a long time since I watched it, like a really long time, and I was like, God, I hope this holds up, because I could see this not holding up as well, and I loved it. I've watched it multiple times since I've had it. This is just a really fun horror comedy with Devon Sawa, the kid from the first Final Destination film. His hand becomes possessed, and he starts killing people, and you got Seth Green in there. And then you got Foggy from the Daredevil series in there. You got Jessica Alba in there. Who's, looking fucking smoking hot in that angel outfit there, Yeah, really great cast. Fun movie. Vivica A. Fox is in it too, that's right, yeah. Yep. And, yeah, just a really good, really fun movie. I have a blast with this. Really good gory kills and stuff too. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Oh, and I want to say too, that's right. This has a really good director's commentary. Definitely listen to the director's commentary. Really fun. I think there's actually two. I think there's an old one and a new one. I think I watched the new one, I believe. Yeah, I think so. Really good commentary though. It was really fun. They had all the leads there, so that was cool. Except for Jessica Alba. She was the only one that wasn't there. But yeah, and they actually talk about that in the commentary too, or whatever, which is kind of funny, because it sounded like maybe just nobody called her or something. Like maybe they thought she wouldn't do it because she's kind of become a bigger name since then. But I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it's a really good, funny commentary. The Burning, great slasher movie. Oh man, very like Friday the 13th style. Great gore effects. Tom Savini did the practical effects for this, all the gore effects and everything, just like Friday the 13th, and it looks fucking phenomenal. A really fun, campy, camp slasher type movie. Really cool. I really like that artwork on that too. I like that artwork a lot. Kind of reminds me of The Thing a little bit, with the light emanating from like the top of the head there. In the Mouth of Madness, one of my favorite John Carpenter films. Great movie, Sam Neill. I love these movies that it takes its time, builds up the characters. Well, especially him. I mean, he's the main character, but it kind of builds up. It's a bit of a slow burn, and then you get to this town, this quiet, weird town, and things start going wrong. And so I love movies that do that, I love that small town feel, that atmosphere, and then weird shit just starts happening, and very Lovecraftian and stuff, especially towards the end of this movie. Really good. Definitely check out In the Mouth of Madness. Tales from the Hood. I love a good anthology, like horror anthology series. This is one of my favorites. All the stories in this are good. There's 4 of them. All fantastic. Of course, mine is my favorite is the one where the little puppets come to life and and start killing people and shit like that. And whoever the guy is that plays like the dickhead that's living in that house, he's like taking over the house and stuff, and he's got all these really funny lines. It's really racy. I don't know if they'd be able to get away with that today, but it's like he says some crazy shit, but he gets what's coming to him at the end, so it's funny. But it's like this just has so many, because it blends the humor in some of the segments as well as the horror very well. But all the stories are good in this. They really are. They're all very good. I think the last one is the one that it's almost like a Clockwork Orange type segment. That's probably my least favorite, but it's still great. But I still think I prefer the other 3 segments over that one. Yeah, really fun movie. Definitely watch. Buy Tales from the Hood. It's funny because I didn't own this and I was really in the mood to watch it. So I watched it on demand. And then as soon as I was done watching it, I went and bought it. You know? I was like, I gotta own this, man. It's so damn good. But I wanted to watch it so bad that I just couldn't even wait. I was just like, okay, fuck it, on demand. All right, Body Bags, another horror anthology series. John Carpenter plays kind of the crypt keeper there, and there's 3 tales of horror, which John Carpenter directs. He directs 2 of them, I believe, and Tobe Hooper directs the other one. Tobe Hooper directs the gas station segment, which I believe is the first segment, and then the other 2 I think are John Carpenter. So really fun horror anthology series. Definitely check it out. John Carpenter, Tobe Hooper, you can't go wrong, right? You know, really fun to watch. The Howling, great werewolf movie. Really, really enjoyed this film. I don't know if it's my favorite werewolf movie or not. I'm not sure, but it's got great practical effects, especially at the end. I know a lot of people make fun of it because they're like, God, it takes forever for the damn guy. You know, he's transforming into the werewolf and this lady's just standing there and it takes like 5 minutes before he's finally done transforming. But the effects and everything for it look phenomenal, you know, while it's going on. But people always say, why don't you run, you dumb bitch? Get the fuck out of there while he's transforming. Because she's literally standing there for like 5 fucking minutes. But it's funny. It's good. A really good movie. You know, and yeah, I actually want to give this a rewatch. It's been a while since I've watched The Howling. It'd be fun to rewatch this again. Yeah. The Howling. This one I just watched for the first time very recently. The Blob. Holy shit, man. I'll tell you right now, if there's any of these that I highly recommend, if you haven't gone out and watched any, go watch The Blob. If you love movies like The Thing, you know, this is great. I mean, you got this creature, oh my God, the effects in this movie. I know I keep talking, I love practical effects. That's why I love 80s horror so much. But, oh God, there are some kills in this, man, where this blob is just like melting off people's faces and just ripping people apart. I mean, it's brutal. It's basically like a blob monster that's like eating the people, and it's like basically like it eats them, but you know, it's almost like acid. Like it like almost like eats them by like melting them away and shit. And it's disgusting, and it's fucking awesome. And I love the score too. There's a song, Brave New World, in this, and I got that as soon as it's at the end credits of this movie, and as soon as I heard it, I had to go out and buy that song. I loved it. It's so good. Yeah, very 80s. All right, next up, Exorcist 3. Great movie. Brad Dourif, you know, excellent performance, probably one of the best performances he's ever given, and that's saying a lot. You know, just really, really, I mean, this is probably the most atmosphere you'll get in a movie. I mean, just super atmospheric. Very, like, you have to be in a certain mood to watch this film. You know, it's one of those type of movies where it's like, it's very dark and dreary and very Fincher-esque, you know, if like just, but a great film. Great film. You got George C. Scott, you know, from The Changeling. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, really good. All right. Well, it looks like we'll get to a few that I actually have that have slipcovers. How about Creepshow? Nice slip box. Yeah, Creepshow, another horror anthology series. I'm telling you, I love the horror anthology series. Some of my favorites. My favorite segment in Creepshow is The Crate. I love The Crate. Tom Savini effects again. I would take a whole movie on The Crate, honestly. But after that, it's the one with what is Leslie Nielsen. It's the Leslie Nielsen one, you know, where well, I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it, but it's the Leslie Nielsen one. I think Leslie Nielsen, I couldn't believe what a great villain he played. I mean, he played an excellent villain in that movie. Really good. So if you haven't seen Creepshow, definitely go check it out just for those two segments alone. So good. The Dead Zone, David Cronenberg, Christopher Walken. Awesome, you know. Just I actually got this with a slipcover, which was cool because I recently bought this, so I was like, oh, nice, because I actually really dig the slipcover on this. And you got the original art. You know, another Cronenberg classic here. One of his more, you know, I guess you would say like a little bit more of a, you know, normal film for Cronenberg. You know, it's like some of his stuff can get pretty out there. This is a little bit more normal, you know, a little bit more accessible, I guess some would say. So, you know, check that one out for sure. Yet again, another horror anthology, Tales from the Dark Side. Just got this in recently too, also with the slipcover. Great movie. Love that poster art too. It's so cool. Kind of looks like a gremlin. That's every time I see that image, it reminds me of Gremlins. Reminds me of Stripe. But yeah, my favorite segment in this one is it's this one right here. That like gargoyle looking thing. If you don't know, I don't want to spoil what it's about, but if you don't know, go watch it. That to me, that's my favorite segment. But there's other good ones too. I mean, it's only 3 of them, but they're all good. I like all of them. All right, next up we got Event Horizon. This is basically, if I need to describe this to someone who hasn't seen it, I just say Hellraiser in space. Another Sam Neill horror film. Very, very, very atmospheric, dark. You know, like I said, Hellraiser. I mean, very like, you know, when it gets bloody, it gets really bloody. And I guess there's another part of this movie that hasn't been released that's even gorier. But you know, they can't find the original like elements, you know, or the film or whatever. You know, when they cut it all up, they couldn't find it anywhere. Some people even say it may have gotten destroyed. So kind of sucks. But I'd love to see the full uncut version of this someday, but we probably won't get it. But as is, it's fine. I mean, it's still very gory, and it's you know, it's very claustrophobic because they're out in space and they're investigating this ship that's been abandoned, and you know, they start finding weird stuff going on, and it goes into some pretty crazy places. Excellent movie. Yeah, definitely check that one out. All right, and then this is one of the IFC Midnight releases from Scream Factory. Rent a Pal, great movie too. I just saw this. Well, I saw it like, I think it's been, I got this when it first came out, so it's been probably a couple of years or so now. But yeah, it's this weird. It's set in I think it's the 90s, and this guy right here, is trying to find trying to find like a girlfriend, just somebody he can be with. And it's before like dating apps and all that bullshit, so what they do is he goes into a video store, and you make a video of yourself, and it's like a quick 5-minute interview, and then you leave it at the video store, and then a woman can come in and choose your tape and watch it and see what you're all about. And then if she likes you, then this company will set up a date for you guys, and then he can look at videos of women that he likes, that he thinks he'll hit it off with or whatever. And yeah, you can try to plan a date out that way. So very like old school pre-internet way of doing it. And it just goes into some really dark and crazy places from there. I don't want to give it away, but this is a really good watch. I would highly recommend that one. If you're looking for something different, kind of a different story, I really like that one a lot. All right, I just got these in today, these next 4 here. Cherry Falls, have not seen it. 90s slasher that I actually have not seen, so I can't wait to check. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not 90s, it's 2000. It says 2000. So 2000, the 90s and the early 2000s kind of blend together, because Valentine, I think, also came around 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. They kind of mesh together all those like urban legend, I Know You Did Last Summer, Scream, blah, 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 those kind of slashers. So I got this one to check out because I hear it's really good. And this was on sale for $11.99. So I was like, well, shit, for $11.99, yeah, why not? It's so rare Scream Factory has any deals or anything, so... I got it on Amazon, though. It wasn't on Scream Factory, but it's so, even on Amazon anywhere, it's just rare to get Scream Factories for a good deal. So we got Cobra, Stallone action horror type film, really just kind of more action or whatever, but really like, Stallone being a badass, basically. Had to get that one. I had to add that to the collection. That was also only $11.99. All right, then we have Night of the Creeps, which is really cool. Just like I said, I got this one in. This was a little bit more expensive, but I thought it was worth owning. I had to add this to the collection. Just a really solid movie and stuff, so had to go ahead and get this one. All right. Yeah, I mean, you got fucking Tom Atkins in there and shit. You gotta have all the Tom Atkins horror movies. All right. And oh wait, what was that? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I got another one. I got another one in today, but it's in the 4K pile, so we'll get to that in a second. Autopsy of Jane Doe, one of my favorite horror films of recent. I think this is excellent. When did this come out? 2016, yeah, so very new horror film, and I think this should go way up there. This is a movie, if you haven't seen, like, you gotta see The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I don't even want to spoil anything that happens. It's another slow burn, but it is so worth the wait, I'm telling you right now. And it keeps you intrigued the entire time you're watching it. I'm never bored watching this movie. It's fucking fantastic. Like I said, one of the best horror films to come out in like the last 20 years. I'm not exaggerating. It's really that good. And it's got Brian Cox, Emile Hirsch, but it's got Brian Cox, man. Just watch it. Plus, this hot ass chick right here is fucking naked the entire time. She's dead, but she's still hot. So, what are you gonna do? Sorry. All right. Day of the Dead, one of my favorite zombie movies ever made. Great directing, George A. Romero, Tom Savini doing the practical effects, bloody as all hell. They even took a cut in the budget just so they could make it gorier and stuff too. It was just more important to tell the story that they wanted to tell, make it bloody, make it fun, and Walking Dead owes everything to movies like this, especially Day of the Dead. It's just crazy. If you watch Day of the Dead and then you watch the Walking Dead series, you're like, oh, wow. It's definitely inspired by those for sure. You can see, and I like Walking Dead, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, you need those films, like when you watch Day of the Dead, you're like, God, Walking Dead just takes like a huge page out of it. I mean, it's like, except for Day of the Dead does it in like an hour and 40 minutes, But no, I love Walking Dead. I love Rick Grimes. Is one of my favorite characters of all time. So trust me, I'm a big Walking Dead guy. All right, Psycho 2. This, I'll be honest with you, this is right up there with the first one. Psycho 2, Anthony Perkins. Even because Anthony Perkins, you get more Anthony Perkins, which is what you want in these films. So yeah, I mean, you get more of what you want. The first Psycho is fantastic, but you want more Anthony Perkins. So it's like, definitely check this one out. So good. Love Psycho 2. Let's see. Ooh, I just watched this recently. Oh, I'm glad to hear. I almost forgot to. The Mangler. This is another WTF. The stream that my buddy Brad does, the 4K 10 revival. The WTF is this stream? What the fuck is this? Stream that we do every week. We talk about movies. This is one of those weird movies that we just did a couple of weeks ago. Really fun movie. Robert Englund, based off of a short story by Stephen King. Really fun, weird horror movie. It's about a laundry press machine that just starts killing people. It's like possessed by like a demon, and it just starts killing people. I mean, it sounds dumb as shit, and it kind of is, but it's so much fun to watch. So definitely go check out The Mangler. Please go over to the 4K Tent Revivals channel, watch our video on it. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. Really fun commentary that we did during this. So yeah, go check it out. The Mangler. Yeah. Oh, and Tobe Hooper directed this. So Stephen King did the short story, and Tobe Hooper directed the film. So really good. Really, really fun movie. And Ted Levine. Ted Levine is the guy from Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. He is the lead detective in this movie, so it's just really great cast all the way around. Robert Englund, Ted Levine, Tobe Hooper directed, Stephen King short story. You can't go wrong. Really good. Now I know this isn't a Scream Factory technically, but it's still horror-ish. It's a Shout Factory release, so I just included it anyway. Paranorman, cute kids movie, horror, kind of, horror based in a way for, kids and stuff, but it's fun movie. But yeah, it's a Shout, select or whatever, So, yep, good one, Paranorman. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Why not? All right, and then I got some Steelbooks. I guess I'll get this one out of the way. This is another one that's not, it's not, a Scream Factory title. It's Shout again, but just thought I'd show it off. Transformers Steelbook. Really cool. Like I said, it's Shout Factory, so I figured I'd throw it in. I had them all together anyway, so. All right. Next up, we got My Bloody Valentine Day. My Bloody Valentine. Which I'll probably go ahead and watch this pretty soon. Valentine's Day is only a couple of weeks away, so it'll be fun to go ahead and watch this again. Yeah, really great movie, and they restore most of the gore in this cut. So I would definitely recommend picking up the Scream Factory edition because they're able to restore the majority of the gore, so that was pretty cool. And then we got Pumpkinhead. Really fun. I'll tell you right now, man, the creature effects that they use for Pumpkinhead will blow your mind when you see this creature. It is crazy. It's a practical creature effect, It's this like giant, thing that they created. I can't remember if it's all like an animatronic or a puppet or if it's like a mix of both or if there's actually like a guy in this suit. I forgot how they did it, but it's incredible. But really good movie. I remember watching this a ton as a kid, plus all the sequels too. So definitely check out Pumpkinhead if you haven't seen it. All right. I know this is probably going to be a little bit of a long video, but what are you going to do? It's hard to do these collection videos quickly, But really quick, I guess I'll show off some of the, because this is still Blu-ray, I'll show off the Fly box set. Love this set. Really nice. Got all the Fly movies in there, including the Cronenberg classic, The Fly. So definitely want to pick that one up. That's a great one. And we got The Omen, another really cool box set. And you got five movies in there. Got all the Omen movies right there. Love the first Omen. And I gotta rewatch the other ones. I just don't really remember. I did watch the remake. I really don't like the remake for this. It's like the remake literally just copies the first film and it does it way worse. I don't like the remake at all. But I love the first one. I'll have to watch the other three. But these sets right here, The Omen and The Fly, you can get those fairly cheap. They're each like around $40. If you wait for a sale, you can get them even cheaper. So definitely worth it. Just wait for a sale and grab them, you know. All right, getting into some 4K. Oh no, wait, I got one more Blu-ray set. And then of course we got the Friday the 13th set, which obviously, if you're a Friday the 13th fan, which I'm sure if you're watching this video you probably are, you definitely want to go pick up this set. It's incredible. Probably one of the nicest box sets ever created, and I'm not even being funny. It's just, you know, it's a home run. It's a home run set. Love it. I love all the Friday the 13th movies, so, you know, you gotta own that set. I mean, it's great. And that set is another one that's gone on sale for like really like cheap. I mean, I've seen it for like, I think I've seen it as low as like $80, you know, so you can get it for a good price if you just wait. So definitely, yeah, Friday the 13th box set. Awesome. All right, let's get into some 4Ks. Escape from New York, John Carpenter classic. Great movie. Kurt Russell, Donald Pleasance. You know, Kurt Russell goes into this city, this, you know, like destroyed city where they have all the criminals. It's, you know, it's New York City, obviously, and they got all these criminals just all thrown on the island, and, you know, they can't get away. So, you know, there's no bridges or anything. They're just stuck. They just dump the criminals on the island, and they fend for themselves. But the president his plane ends up crashing on this island with all these criminals and stuff, so they send in Kurt Russell, who plays Snake Plissken, to go and rescue him. You know, so it's really good movie. Definitely check that one out. All right. Next up, we got They Live. Yeah, great. Another, you know, just, I mean, they're all great, you know, just another John Carpenter classic right here. You know, if you haven't seen They Live, you definitely got to go check it out. You know, it's got you know, Roddy Piper in it. It's got Keith David from The Thing, and you know, it's basically just aliens have taken over most of America, or at least most of, I guess, I don't know if it's like all of America or if it's just like that city, or I forgot how far they expanded, but it's probably safe to assume that they've taken over most of the states, if not even most of the world. They've come down, they look like us, and these glasses allow these, you know, our heroes to see them for what they really are, which is these aliens and stuff. So really, you know, great movie, and if you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out. You know, it's one of those John Carpenter movies you gotta watch. And Prince of Darkness, another John Carpenter movie. Yeah, Prince of Darkness, Donald Pleasance yet again. Awesome in this movie. But you get a lot of good characters. Just really, you know, I love the atmosphere of this movie. You know, they're all stuck in this one location for the most part, and they just start kind of getting picked off one by one by all these like kind of undead like beings, you know, and there's a lot of weird things that happen in this movie, especially towards the third act, you know, so if you haven't seen it, definitely you gotta check this one out. But really fun movie. I mean, I like it a lot. All right, let's see, we got The Craft on 4K. Fun movie. You know, 4 hot ass witch chicks, you know, I mean, when, you know, they start you know, fucking doing black magic, you know, and you know, messing around with the, you know, dark arts and all that stuff when they're not supposed to, and bad stuff happens, and it's really fun, you know. It's a fun movie. I like The Craft. Yeah, you got a really solid cast. You got, yeah, Robin Tooney, Nev Campbell, Rachel True, Fairuza Balk, you know, you got all the ladies right there. Yeah. really, really fun movie, you know. Especially, you know, she puts that love spell, I'm sure most of you guys have seen it, but you know, it's a little minor spoiler, but you know, this one girl puts like a love spell on Skeet Ulrich's character, you know, the guy from Scream, and you know, he just starts following her and getting really creepy and all this stuff. It's like so the spell kind of backfires in a way because now he's almost too attached to her. So I thought that was kind of a cool twist. I like that. It's like she puts a love spell on him because she just wants him to notice her and like her and stuff, but now, well, and she was kind of getting back at him because he lied. He pretended like, you know, they had sex together and she never really had sex with him. So, he's a piece of shit or whatever. So she put a love spell on him. So she'd basically be his slave, but he ends up getting super obsessed and, you know, tries to take advantage of her and do all this creepy, so it's crazy because it's like it does go into some dark places with some of that stuff. So, it's a pretty solid movie. Cat People. I actually haven't seen this. This was a recommendation from my buddy Dirk, who is Subjective Perspective Collective. Go, subscribe to his channel. He's a really cool guy. He does our, WTF streams as well. But he recommended this, so this was the fourth movie, that I got today. Literally just got it. So I look forward to checking it out. Cat People, yeah, looks interesting. Got it with the slipcover still, so that was cool. And there's the reversible art right there. But it sounds interesting. It sounds like a lady turns into a cat, kind of like a werewolf type movie. And it sounds like a sexy, stylish, kind of like slasher type movie. I think she like becomes a cat and starts ripping people up and shit. And maybe she seduces them too, and then she kills them. I don't know. Sounds something like that. So, The Return of the Living Dead, another one of my all-time favorite zombie films. Great, there's not too much. This is just like the ultimate zombie movie. It's got great music, fun cast. It's really punk style, the punk music, punk looking, all the cast looks like punks and everything, really great practical effects, gore, visuals. The actors in it are all hilarious, especially like the three lead guys really. It's like the two guys that run the company, the Unita supply, I forgot what it is, a Unita something store that they run. They end up, unleashing, they fuck with this barrel that they're not supposed to, that has this, zombie in it, and, the spray comes out and blasts them, and it reanimates all these, dead, there's like a graveyard next door, so it, reanimates all these dead bodies, and, zombies start coming to life and eating people and all this shit, and it's just a really fun movie. All the characters are great. It's funny. Unita Supplies, I think, or something like that. Really good. All right, then we got that's what it is. It's gonna drive me crazy. Unita Medical Supplies. That's what it's called. I think Unita Medical Supplies. Really, yeah. It's gonna drive me crazy. Yeah, but yeah, really fun. And then that scene right there where they got the zombies strapped to the thing, and they're trying to make her talk and everything. And she starts telling him, what it's like being dead and all that shit. I'm like, man, it's so good. But I love the music in that film. All right, Child's Play. Child's Play, obviously one of my favorite horror films of all time. I mean, I've got Chucky stuff all over the place. I'm a huge Chucky fan. I got my Charred Chucky right here, which came with all the movies I'm about to show. You got Charred Chucky. This is a Scream Factory exclusive figure. So cool. I love that. And it's it's a NECA figure, Scream Factory exclusive NECA figure right there. Really cool. One of my favorites. So you got Child's Play, got a ton of special features on there. Great movie. One of my favorite. I don't know. For me, Child's Play still is my favorite. I can say that. I love the second one and the third one, but the original, this truly feels like a horror film. It's very horrific. It's very slow to start too. I like the slow build up and everything. I think it's great. And you got Child's Play 2, which obviously features Chucky the entire time. It's more fun. But it's not, it's horror, but then it introduces a lot more comedy. Kind of like how Freddy Krueger, the first one, starts off very much just like a horror, and not too much comedy at all, but then it gets more and more comedic as the series goes along. That's kind of how Child's Play is too. It kind of gets more and more comedic, but Child's Play 2 is excellent. I mean, it's, the comedy works. It all works. I guess I just slightly prefer the more serious tone, and then this is like right next in line, but they're pretty close. But yeah, I love Child's Play too. Brad Dourif, once again, killing it as the voice of Charles Lee Ray, Chucky. So yeah, it's just so much fun. The characters are great. Andy Barclay right there. I mean, he's such a good, child actor too. I mean, he's one of the few child actors that's not annoying. I think he does a really solid job, especially in both movies, but when he's crying in the first film, because he's in that fucking psych ward place, and nobody believes him that Chucky's alive. I mean, that's such a good performance for a little kid. I mean, it's crazy. And then you got Child's Play 3. Oh, and by the way, these are the alternate covers, because I got the bundle, so I got the cool like alternate art. But Child's Play 3, fantastic movie. I love the military school setting. I think that's a lot of fun. I think that scene at the end where he takes out all the paintball bullets and puts in real bullets is like scary as fuck, because you could almost see that. Well, it kind of did happen in real life. I mean, kind of. I mean, it's happened. We've had incidents, where shit like that's gone wrong, you know what I mean? Like on sets and stuff. But that's just scary, because you could see that really happening. So even as a kid, I was like, holy shit, that's dark. Like, oh my God. And, I like it when he slashes the one guy's throat, cuts hair, and he says, presto, you're dead. I love that. There's, when the colonel or general or whatever has a fucking heart attack and falls onto his little display there, and Chucky's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It's just so good, man. Once again, see, it gets more comedic, but I think the comedy still works in that movie. And I really like the actor who plays older Andy in that movie too. His name escapes me now, but I really like that actor. I thought he did a great job as Andy too. Justin Whalen, I think that's his name. Yeah, really great job, man. That's a hard thing to do too, is find somebody to replace. You're going from the kid actor to an adult actor. That can be tough too. All right, The Funhouse. Really great Tobe Hooper film. Fun watch. Got the alternate art on there. It's got the reversible art, so you can have this art or you can have this one right here. It's kind of funny because this clown isn't in the fucking movie, so it's funny that this is the poster art, because this isn't the killer in the movie, but it would lead you to believe it is, but it's not. This is actually the killer right here, or at least its mouth, But once again, this is one of those movies I love. It almost feels like, and this might turn people off, but it feels like a Rob Zombie movie. If you're not familiar with Tobe Hooper, obviously Tobe Hooper came first, but if you're unfamiliar with Tobe Hooper, I would say, The Funhouse feels, it has that same style kind of as Rob Zombie when you're watching this movie. it feels very real. The whole carnival scene, everything, it's like a real carnival, and they go through the whole carnival and they see all the different attractions, and you got the weird cow with like the split face, or it has two heads or some shit, which was real. I'm pretty sure that was actually real. Like, it looked real. It didn't look fake. It looked real. Like, all sorts of weird shit. So it's almost like Toby Hooper actually got like all this. It's like a real freak show kind of carnival. Yeah, it's just freaky, and it feels like that, like House of a Thousand Corpses. You kind of get those feels when you watch the Fun House. So it's really good. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Alligator. If you love Jaws, this is just Jaws with an alligator. Really good characters. Not as good a characters as Jaws. Jaws. Obviously, I still like prefer Jaws over this, but this is a really good Jaws ripoff type film. It has Robert Forster in it. Who's a really good actor, so he sells it. And I forgot what the lady's name is in this. Oh, Louis Teague, who directed Cujo. He's the director. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize that. And the screenwriter was John Sayles, who did The Howling. That's cool. But yeah, you got Robert Forster, Robin Riker. That's the lady's name. God, man. Oh, man. She is so good looking in this. Holy shit. Yeah, she's a beautiful woman, man. Smoke show. Very sexy woman. But yeah, great. Really, really great movie, and lots of bloody violence. I mean, I'm like, man, they just show that alligator ripping some people to shreds. It's brutal, and the alligator looks good too. Like the practical effects and everything, it looks pretty damn good. Evil Dead. The Evil Dead, not remake, but sequel. I don't know. Everybody calls it a remake, but I think technically it's a sequel. They just don't really talk about any of the past events, but I believe it's a sequel. I don't know. Some people call it a remake. Some people call it a sequel. Whatever. But remake, or Evil Dead. When did this come out? Oh, 2013. Okay, yeah. Evil Dead 2013. Great movie. I mean, this is one of the best remake, sequels, whatever you want to call it, that they've done. Just very menacing and very dark, and it's got a little bit of dark humor, like the original Evil Dead had. The Evil Dead had a little bit of humor inserted in there, with like a lot of more horror and stuff. So I would say it's probably closest to the first film, where it's mostly horror and all that, and it's got just like a little bit of dark humor and stuff in there. But it's really good. And it basically is the same thing. I mean, it's about a bunch of kids. They go to a cabin, except for the reason why they're going to the cabin is because this one guy's sister is a recovering heroin addict, and they're taking her to the cabin, to try to kick it, so they can keep her away from, any kind of drugs or alcohol or anything that she could get into, like rehab, basically. So they're trying to get her to kick the habit out in the cabin where there's nothing else around, and then things start going wrong. You get the Necronomicon, all that, and really good movie. Really, really good one. All right. And next up we got Krampus. Really fun Christmas horror film from the guy that brought you Trick or Treat, same director. What is that director's name? Let's see. Michael Dougherty. Yeah, Michael Dougherty. Yeah. Yep. Really fun Christmas horror movie. This is the naughty cut. It's not really that much more naughty though. It's like one extra fuck that they say, and there's really no blood or anything in this. It's not that type of horror movie. But you got Toni Collette, you got Adam Scott, you got a really good cast. Everybody's funny in it. It's just like Trick or Treat. It's another horror comedy, so You know, just really great. And you got the reversible artwork there too. Really fun movie. Is if you're in the mood for like a horror movie, but you kind of want to laugh too, I'd recommend watching Krampus, especially around the holidays, around Christmas. So. Then we got Life Force, Tobe Hooper's Life Force. Oh, same artwork. Okay. Yeah. Really hot. You know. Like, you know, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've watched this movie, but it's just like this chick who is going around naked, like sucking the life, you know, the life force out of people, basically, you know, or something like that. You know, it's been a while since I've watched this movie, so, but it's just, yeah, it's an interesting one. This is kind of hit or miss for some people. Some people just think it's boring, whatever. I don't. It's been a long time. I'll have to go and revisit it soon. But you know, it's got a hot ass chick walking around naked. You know, so at the very least, at least you can, you know, you got that going on. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Next up. Okay, I guess we'll just kind of show all these together here, but we got Halloween, one of my favorite horror films of all time. You know, I love Halloween. Halloween 2. I love the whole Halloween franchise, though, to be honest with you. I really do. So, Halloween 3. These are all 4Ks with the nice, like, slit boxes, you know. It's a nice slit box. And then it's got the reversible artwork, or you can go with this artwork on there. Either way. Really good, really good. And these all looked great, by the way. These all look great on 4K. Very impressed with all the transfers. Halloween 4, which is always a blast. A lot of people bitch about that mask in Halloween 4. I actually don't mind it. Even though it kind of looks like a weird dominatrix type mask when you actually watch it. Like, all it's missing is like the zipper mouth, kind of like, you know, in Pulp Fiction, the Gimp, you know. It's kind of what I think of every time I see it, but that in a way is very creepy. And then you got Halloween 5. Really, you know, weird fun. If they just took that goofy ass music out, that goofy music that plays when the cops roll up or whatever, it would make this movie so much better. That music, though, just drives me nuts. Whenever the cops show up, they play that, like, beeper, beeper, you know, like that weird, whistly, goofy ass clown music. Curse of Michael Myers. I don't know, man. I really like the Curse of Michael Myers. I prefer the theatrical cut because it keeps all the gore in, and it's I just think the pacing's better and the ending is way better. I mean, does anybody like the stupid fucking rocks that are at the end of the producer's cut? The rocks stop Michael Myers. Come on, man. Like, I'd go with the theatrical cut. That's what I recommend. Then we got Halloween H2O. This is probably my favorite. Of the 4K transfers, I think Halloween H2O looks incredible. You gotta watch it. It's like almost watching a brand new film. Like, it looks that good on 4K. Definitely highly recommend Halloween H2O on 4K. Really good looking. And Halloween Resurrection, which this is a dumb Halloween movie. I mean, I hate, because Halloween H2O, this is my favorite Laurie Strode performance. I love Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode in this movie. I think it's perfect. I think it ends perfect. And for me, this is kind of where it does end in my mind. But if you're in the mood for something fun a little bit, this is still a fun enough slasher. It's just the final girl, and it sucks, man. She's terrible. She's just not a good final girl. And, you know, all the stuff with Laurie Strode at the beginning of the movie is kind of silly, too. I don't like the way that plays out, you know, with her, you know, falling off the building and all that shit. It's just so stupid. I mean, come on, man. What the fuck are you guys thinking? It would have been cool if this movie had taken place all in that, like, insane asylum that they were in, though. That would have been badass, wouldn't it? Michael Myers just going through that asylum, like, looking for Laurie and just killing anyone that gets in his way. That would have been pretty cool. But I do like how they did the whole cam footage, like the shot on video style footage where they're all wearing, like, the cameras on their heads and stuff. That was kind of ahead of its time, actually, in a way. I thought that was cool. And then here's the box that H2O Resurrection and Chris Michael Myers come in, if you want to take a look at it. Bloop. Yeah, that's the box. All right, and then last but certainly not least, we got some Steelbooks. We got the They Live 4K Steelbook, which, you know, I just talked about this movie, but I had to go ahead and get the Steelbooks. It looks amazing. I know, I double dipped. I know. But it just, you can't, dude, Devin Whitehead, man, he's just so good with his fucking artwork. I mean, how do you pass this up? Devin Whitehead, man, check him out. Really great artist, beautiful artwork. I mean, he does a lot with, like, he does like shirts and Steelbooks and all sorts, you know, they use his art for all sorts of stuff. So got the Fog, beautiful looking. I mean, look at this, man, come on. Every time I see this image, though, I swear I always think of the vampire from Night Flyer, you know, that Stephen King story, The Night Flyer. I always think of whenever I see that image right there. Yeah, the Fog. John Carpenter classic. You know, Scream Factory does all the John Carpenter movies basically, except for like one. I think Christine is like the only one that they couldn't get the rights to or something. But they have basically all of his other stuff. So you gotta love the Fog. Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Atkins. I mean, Adrienne Barbeau. Come on, you know, another nice slow burn kind of movie too. Very haunting, you know, it's just like a fun, and another small town film, you know, I love those small town feels, you know, that's why I love Halloween too, small town feel, you know. Army of Darkness, we're just talking about the Evil Dead remake / sequel, whatever the fuck it is. Here's Army of Darkness. And this one's just really cool because they give you all the cuts of the film. There's like 5 different cuts. So it's pretty insane. They give you all the cuts in here. And not only the original film is in 4K, the unrated and all the other ones, the TV cut and all those are all just Blu-ray, but whatever, man, who cares? That's cool that they give you those. I mean, that really does make it like the ultimate set, basically, you know. Then you got Carrie. Carrie's an awesome film. Very 70s feeling type movie, which is good. I love the 70s feel, you know, where it just feels like just the feel of the 70s, the look of it, the aesthetic, just that alone, you know, kind of gives you goosebumps, you know. It kind of like, there's just something about that aesthetic when you're watching a 70s film like The Exorcist, you know, or, you know, Halloween or Amityville Horror, The Omen, any of those 70s films, you just get that kind of unsettled vibe, you know, very creepy. And the Carrie's, same thing. Francis Ford Coppola directed it. Sissy Spacek does a great job playing Carrie. Just excellent movie, excellent. Beautiful Steelbook too. And last but certainly not least, Child's Play, which is another double dip, but I had to get this Best Buy exclusive Steelbook with the original poster art, Child's Play, because like I said, man, I love, man, I've grown up watching all the Chucky films. I used to rent them all from, I used to rent the first 3 from Blockbuster all the time. Those were the ones that were out, and I've just always been a huge Chucky fan, you know, so love that Steelbook. I had to get that art. This is just beautiful. I'm so glad that they made the original poster, the Steelbook art, incredible. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's my entire Scream Factory haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it if you sat through the entire thing. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's any Scream Factories, any recommendations that you have for me that I should add to the collection now. You know, I'm always looking for, you know, new ones, you know, to add to the collection and everything. Like I, you know, added Cat People to the collection, so I can't wait to watch that film. So yeah, just let me know if there's anything that you guys recommend me and Chucky right here, and I'll check it out. And let me know what some of your favorite Scream Factory titles are, Steelbooks or whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, let me know down below in the comments, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.